Hello, everyone. Welcome to Going Crit RPG and a wonderful, happy premiere to Itaewon by night. Super quick, let's go through some announcements. You know how it is. So, as you can see, they are doing donations. There is a little donation menu. If you scroll down a little bit, the tiers are $5 to reroll a rouse check and take the higher result, $10 for a feeding opportunity, relieve a player of a little hunger, and $20 for a flashback to let the players rewrite history. When you are donating, please make sure that you are specifying which character that it's for, just so that we can have that all sort of squared away. All proceeds for this episode are going to Nordic Frost, a coffee shop near the event in Itaewon, which has set up the fund specifically for anyone who is not in Korea but still wants to contribute. They are donating 100% of all their sales to helping victims' families. The last I checked, they are at approximately $1,000 out of a $250,000 goal. Meet us after the break for some more specific Going Crit RPG announcements, but let me tell you these very serious content warnings for today as the party music also blares at the same time. For this episode, and in general for this chronicle, Itaewon by Night will house substance use, emotional and memory manipulation, induced memory loss and induced infatuation, cults, disappearances, historical themes of real-world war and colonization, and other dark themes. This episode will also have a brief, early, but nondescript mention of emetophobia. All of that, carried away, whatever. Introducing myself super quick. I am Josephine. I will be your storyteller for tonight. I go by none, she pronouns, and I am at Scary Dog Friend. I'm going to pass it over to Jen.
Hi, I'm Jen /Youngles on the internet. I use she, they pronouns, so does my character Wendy. What was the other thing I was supposed to say? Was that it?
Your handle?
Oh, just Youngles on Twitch or anywhere but Twitter, which is Jen Kiki.
Awesome. Hamna.
Hello, everybody. My name is Hamna. I use any and all pronouns, and you can find me on Twitter at @shahid_. Today, I'll be playing Cerise Shaheen, who uses they, them pronouns, and they are of Clan Ventru. And I will pass it on over to Jay.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jay. I use they, them pronouns. I'm on Twitter at Nolabu, and tonight I am playing Viridian's Song, also of Clan Ventru. I'm going to pass it to Fabian.
Howdy. My name is Fabs, producer here at Growing Circle. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to be playing Jet. As you can see, I look like butt right now, so I'm using a PNG. But yeah.
Your
Excited.
PNG is pretty sexy right now, actually.
Oh, thank you.
Introductions aside, party music on, let me give you a little bit of exposition. Welcome to 20XX Itaewon, the international district and gay village of Seoul, South Korea. It is a crisp, late autumn as bundled up tourists from all over the world roam about the conjoined alleyways, marveling at the commitment to fashion. The streets suddenly grow very red, with kimchi vomit from the early drinking salarymen whose wives and children both wish they wouldn't drink so much as soon as they got off work. Honey, you have to be careful, the wives say with concern over the phone. Police officers are going missing in Itaewon. To which they are brusquely hung up on. Young men don Adidas tracksuits and matching shoes, spitting on the ground as they smoke a pack of Arirang 100s, bringing their new immigrant classmates from Yongsan International on a night of fried chicken, clubbing, late-night League of Legends, and drinking games, particularly the Game of Death, basically King's Cup, but with a more terrifying name. Drag queens traverse in taxis sporting strip club advertisements, applying their makeup in the backseat of an old and confused Korean man's car. They make their way over to the Opera House, or Castrato, or, Kasutrato, a queer and trans bar where the notable drag elder, the bearded Mama, hosts and bartends. The category tonight is royal. A slip of paper dances on the near icy wind of a voluptuous woman's breasts in a skinny bikini top. The cult named Revival has handsome people handing out flyers about sin and the end of the world. People don't act now. Blood bank information pamphlets, for some reason, are also in their possession. Probably nothing. Some influencers have their selfie sticks glued to their hands, sporting cute children stickers on their cheeks. Hydrocolloid stars cover at least 5 pimples on one face. A Sanrio band-aid covers rhinoplasty bruising ineffectively. And an orange fruit tab gets dissolved underneath a tongue. Eyes dilate underneath large and light blue circle lenses. But enough about the living. After all, that's not at all the Itaewon story we want to be telling tonight. As the scum of the earth and young, fresh faces walk these streets, as does the world in reverse. That is the world of the undead, fairy, wolf, hunter, and more. These aren't just party nights for the monsters of Itaewon and Greater Seoul. For some, namely the vampires, they are hunting and feasting grounds. The restrictions. Barred by a code of honor and a swift dispatch team of guardian angels, Homo Hill's very own vanguard of Kindred within a particular geographic region of Usodan Road. Outside of those streets, closer to the university or the mall or the culture complex of the performing arts, the rules become very different very quickly. Curiously, no sign of any Camarilla, Anarch, nor Sabbat stir in view on this night, or any night for that matter, as there is no such concept practiced openly in this little neighborhood of Korean kindred intrigue. More on that later. Let's now follow our 4 vampires at this very table and see what lies in store for them tonight. But first, let's rouse the blood. If everyone could give me a rouse check. Rouse checks are right under your hunger bar. Please
What
tell
about
me.
for me? What do I do?
I get hungrier with a 3.
Okay.
How many dice do I roll, Joe?
It's just 1.
Okay.
I succeeded.
I got a
That's a
success, I
7.
think. Yes.
Incredible. So, Jet, let's cut to you in this 3 hunger. What's up with that? Rather, where do we find Jet right now?
So Jet's kind of odd. He's not like most kindred, obviously. Just to describe him, he looks fairly young. He wears a lot of punkish kind of clothing. You notice that he has life in his cheeks, flush with blush. And you notice that within his jewelry, one of it, very striking, looks like a pair of prosthetic fangs on a necklace. He bears no fangs, and he pretty much looks like any regular person. He definitely looks out of place as he is an expat from a different Asian country. He stirs a little bit before the sun sets, as it is something that he can do. He walks around in his apartment. His roommate is probably at the shop still. he groans with a little pang of hunger in his stomach. Something that he hates to acknowledge that he has to. He checks his phone and does he find any messages from maybe his pusher or from anybody?
From Kyun, there are no particular messages.
Mm-hmm.
There's an interesting thing when your pusher also has a perhaps more of a nocturnal schedule than you do.
Mm-hmm.
There is a little picture of a text message, a picture in a text message sent from Jesse from the tattoo parlor of someone who literally just wanted Homer Simpson tattooed on their ankle. Fantastic.
I send a flaming Elmo emoji.
Yes, of
like
course.
a GIF. And as I see nothing is going on and I'm a little parched, as you would say, I go to my drawer. Actually, no. I drive out to my lab, and in the lab I grab from my drawer a bunch of these stickers. And he notes down how much he took and does the math a little bit. He leaves a note to Kyun saying, same price. Text me if there's any trouble. And then I drive out to Homo Hill, actually.
What car are you driving?
I love this. Jet is a fan of cars. He found a few years back during his ghoul days, he found a 240Z that he used all his money to restore, and now he drives around the city in this custom modded Nissan 240Z. It is midnight blue, as his hair is, and yeah.
Incredible. Where are you at hunger-wise? Did you
I'm at
remind
Hunger
me?
2.
Hunger 2. Incredible. Where do you stop to park? Where do you decide to go? There are tourists, as per usual, walking around. There are food carts and food trucks and all manner of sounds and sights and smells at the moment. What intrigues you first?
So because I'm hungry and because the stories of my kind never really mentioned anything about having to fend off the beast, it seems that I particularly have this bestial kind of hunger. I actually head over to Mama's place, a place where it would be understood if I fed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You walk on over to the famously nicknamed the Opera House, or by its actual name, the Castrato. Named after castrated opera singers.
Mhm.
It's a whole vibe. Inside and flourishing and brandishing even into the front is a strange Rococo sort of design. There's a strange elements of antiques and collected old traditional Korean like little knickknacks, and also little things of like serifs at the same time. This marriage, ungodly marriage of French Revolution type antiques and little kitschy little things, as well as beautiful dark wood and sturdy furniture. Everything inside of the opera house, it looks more like an art gallery sometimes than it does a bar, but successfully you see swarming all around customers, people that you've met before, people that perhaps one or two in a certain group of yours, certain groupies, and Mama, bearded with a blue glitter beard, rather, a big cotton candy looking beehive of French sort of rolls, baby pink little ribbons on almost the sides of her hair and also just like down the shoulders, wearing something. She looks from the top of her head, from the head up, could be maybe like a baroness. From the bottom down, French red light district, lady of the night, that sort of thing. Broad-shouldered, hairy-shouldered, bartending, having a good time, smiling, every now and then letting out an operatic note for some reason. Every now and then she likes to remind people that she can sing and speak in Italian, whatever. But she's there. Who do you go for?
So, obviously, I will pass by Mama real quick. And, doesn't have to be like a whole interaction. It's more of a, hi, I'm here. Lovely to see you kind of greeting. And if they let me, I greet them with kisses on the cheek. And I would think that since Mama is pretty much like letting me do business in their own place, I slip a few thousand, like maybe 700,000 won.
Right.
And I'm like, we're gonna have fun tonight, you know. And I look at the floor, and do I find any of my herd or any of my regulars?
I think basically easily enough, without any trouble. There are, we'll say two. There are two college-aged students. There is a girl, and there seems to be her boyfriend. The both of them having maybe a particular interest in you that was unexpected, but the Korean students here, they're very puritanical. It's weird. But they both flag you over.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that the girl has already gotten started with her face decorating. She has a little rainbow on one apple of her cheek and a little kiss mark on the other one.
Okay. And yeah, like, I take out like a few of these stickers and I say, you guys need a refill?
I am so sorry to do this to you, Fabs. The boy does ask if you take crypto.
Oh my god. I look at him, and this gives me some form of rage. This brings some form of rage in me. And I look at him and I say, "Excuse me, what?"
No, I mean, just like there's the the Bitcoin Center is just down there, and I was just like, I was just getting into it.
Oh,
If it's not really what you do, it's totally fine. We can just whatever the
yeah,
Korean
maybe
Cash App
let's
is.
let's go traditional here. Let's not do any of it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, how much do you want?
The guy, I think has this issue where he isn't looking at his girlfriend as he speaks on by himself, and the girlfriend is like clearly trying to speak, but boyfriend conveniently keeps talking over her. Do you have any stickers that are sorry.
I interrupt you. It's like, hey, buddy. Let her speak. Like, I know her. She's bought for me before. Hon, what do you need?
The girl smiles at you. He was just about to ask if you had like less girly stickers, basically.
What's that supposed to mean?
Guy says again, just like, maybe like I don't know. Maybe not rainbows.
You see me take a rainbow out and put it on my skin. It's like, what's wrong with that?
No, nothing. And
you know where you are, right?
Funnily enough, sometimes out of character, that frustratingly it doesn't change for some people, even the locals.
I know. Exactly.
Yeah. The both of them, they'll ask if you are interested in going into a booth.
Sure. Look, you know what? I might have something for you. How about a train? Train sounds less girly. Thomas the Train, I have one over here, and I take one out.
Is it just the face of Thomas?
Yeah, it's just the face of Thomas the Train.
Yeah, that's fine. Where is best to put these?
Oh, it's fine. I'll put it on you myself.
Okay.
And I take them to a booth.
Yeah.
And I lay out a spread. It's like, hey, hun, take how much you need, what you need. I'll give you a discount because you're dealing with this. And I point over to her boyfriend. And I give her a spread.
The girl seems to be properly evaluating some choices she's made in her interpersonal circles. And she's looking through her spread, but she also takes a second as you prepare to put a sticker on her boyfriend, just like leans in, both sort of fists cradled under her chin to look over and just watch.
Okay. I do want to do something before I put the sticker on.
Totally.
This man's. I want to use my bloodhound.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, to see what kind of like resonance this guy has on his in his blood right now.
For those of us that are new to vampire, could you tell us what that does?
Oh, so bloodhound gives me the ability to sense out resonance. Resonance have a lot of things. It gives us kindred access to certain powers, but also it also kind of lets us know what the mood of this character is, of this NPC is. So I have to make a resolve plus awareness check.
Jay breaking out the fucking core book. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm not on screen right now. I thought I could roll away in peace, but no,
I'm
you
so
still brought
sorry.
attention to it.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, you're still hidden if you want. All right. I have 2 hunger. Cool. So, that's it's a messy critical on a 3.
Very good. The beast, there's a voice that kind of tickles at the back of your head, and the knowing one that for the few years has been frustrating because it's a voice that it's from a person that you're not able to see again for several reasons. just a slight push of, I mean, she's definitely breaking up with him after this. You can have a little punishment maybe for tonight.
Okay.
Voice pulls back.
Okay. So I lean close to this guy. A little closer than I usually would. Because of, because I feel this hunger, this need. And I have like my Thomas the Train sticker.
Mm-hmm.
And
Bart Simpson sticker.
Yeah, I place it on his cheekbone, on his left cheekbone. And to make sure, quotes, to place it, to make sure that it doesn't fall off, I rub it in. And as I'm rubbing it in, I'm kind of pointing his face away from me, and now I have like a better view of his neck. At this point, this thing for kind, it activates right away. I would say this is what we discussed, and for some reason I hate this man, but also he looks severely attractive right now, and I don't even realize it, and I put my fangs in.
He smells horny. Smells sanguine.
Okay.
And a fun thing, you sink your fangs in. He has a dyscrasia.
Oh. Okay.
He has contagious enthusiasm. If you can touch your target skin to skin and sweat to sweat, you can add 3 dice to one test to convince them to do something. Treat this dyscrasia as dominate with regards to core beliefs, secrets, and so forth.
So as I take in, I'm gonna bring down my hunger to 1. And from here, I'm gonna look at him, play with his hair a little bit, and I say, how about you take the train farthest place from you?
Blist. I think he doesn't even adjust his hair from when you moved it, so it's just sort of standing up on one side. Yeah, I'm gonna go do that. And then
how about you leave your wallet too?
Yeah, I can do that. I would love to do that.
Okay.
Leaves a thick wallet onto the table. Climbs probably over your legs and then just walks away. The girl raises her eyebrows is he gonna be okay?
Don't worry about him. Let's have fun. Hey, drinks on me. And I open his wallet and look at the money. I bet this guy has no liquid cash whatsoever, but we'll see.
It's a lot of there's stacks in there for sure.
Okay. So yeah.
Jet, are there any last things that you want to do before we move on?
Last thing I want to do is actually no. Nothing. I think I'm gonna enjoy my night. I'm gonna keep my feelers out for customers, and that's it.
Incredible. We move over to another area of Homo Hill. Throughout the streets, the road of Usadan. Cerise. Who are you? What do you look like?
So I like to think that as we go to a different part of Homo Hill, we end up in a random street somewhere. It's rather deserted at this time of night. And before you even see Cerise, what you see is flashing lights, red and blue, red and blue, interchanging one after the other, and it belongs to a cop car. And as we zoom into this cop car, we see a figure, Cerise. 5 foot nothing, small, slender, toned, light brown skin, and they are leaning with their back up against this car. Their eyes are an icy blue, absolutely gorgeous. Their hair is long, wavy, and a golden bronze that they are wearing loose out, and it's splayed up against this car window. Cerise's features are very soft and round, and honestly, you've probably never seen a more beautiful person in your life. They have 3 piercings, their ears, their nose, and they are wearing essentially a monochromatic pink outfit, lots of heart jewelry, their makeup all done up, and Cerise is laughing at something that a, uniformed officer has just said to them.
Cerise, what did you do?
Oh, I didn't do anything. I was just walking around the neighborhood and I saw somebody that I wanted to talk to. And so I did.
Talk to as in this cop?
Yes. Above the table for you, storyteller, I think this cop is somebody that is involved in a recent case that Cerise has been taken on. Cerise is a defense lawyer, and their opposition, the prosecution, word has it that they are going to bring a surprise witness to the stand at our next trial, and they are being awfully tight-lipped about who that is, and that doesn't really fly for Cerise. So specifically, they are here trying to figure out who is that surprise witness.
Were you seen somewhere that perhaps you were not supposed to be?
Probably. I think Cerise frequents Homo Hill, particularly around where the people of the night, the sex workers, tend to be. And I think probably this cop got the wrong idea and assumed, well, whatever cops assume.
Certainly, whatever cops assume. At the moment, you said that you are leaning against the cruiser. You read your rights, you go through that whole spiel, you're laughing at something that he said. He's gonna walk over to face you, even though you're still awkwardly leaning. Strange dynamic that's going on as it is. I want to make you roll something. I don't know what I want to make you roll. So give me one beautiful
You're like, just
second.
roll dice.
Just roll the dice.
Just roll some.
Roll all of your dice.
Give me an awareness plus your wits. So click awareness first on Roll20 for me.
Okay, got it. And then you said wits. Do I get any extra dice for this at all, for anything?
You get 1 extra dice. I won't tell you why.
Suspicious. What's the difficulty?
We'll do 3.
Okay. Messy critical. And I think that's a 1 on the hunger die.
You didn't fail. It's all right. Messy critical. Are you angry at all? Are you frustrated?
I think so. I think Cerise is always angry and frustrated every time they are in contact with police officers, whether they want to be or not.
Whether or not either of you perhaps process this, there is certainly a dent in his cruiser where your knee is resting, but maybe you're not even noticing that yourself. There's something familiar looking about this police officer.
What is so familiar about this police officer?
A certain bone structure, certain cheeks, certain soft look. Maybe an older version of a certain police officer by the last name of Han. You remember, for whatever reason, he told you that he had a brother. Not that you've spoken to him since. He looks at you. What's so funny?
Question, just to clarify. Is this Ethan, or clearly just a family member?
It is an older brother of Ethan.
Nothing, officer. I just thought, I thought it was just so funny to run into you here. You know, I have been a fan of your work for so long.
What are you talking about?
Do you not recognize me?
Am I supposed to? You were just about to trespass into somebody's house.
Oh, we don't need to talk about that. No, I'm a fan of the cases that you work on. You do really good work, you know.
Tell me one case that I've worked on.
Well, just 2 years ago, I remember that you did this very large drug bust over at the bar. It's 2 blocks down. You managed to catch a whole host of people, including a pretty big time drug dealer. That was a good one. People have been following that case for a really long time.
He narrows his eyes at you. Some of that information, that doesn't need to go out anywhere, right?
No, of course not. I would never tell a soul. You know, actually, I've been following the case that you're on right now, and, well, word on the street is that you are slated to win that case. Well, you and the prosecution, obviously, as a team.
He's very concerned now, I think, rather than the like, this is just a weirdo person. There is a strange, maybe a conjuring familiarity.
And I think as this man looks at Cerise, tries to figure out where is it that he knows them from, if I may, I would like to use that capturing of his attention in order to use entrancement on him.
Of course.
So what that does is I need to win a contest of charisma and presence versus his composure and wits, in order to basically make him fall in love with me for just a little bit.
Of course. Give me a super quick rouse check.
Oh no. I succeeded.
Oh, incredible. Y'all also have advantage on... Well, y'all have one advantage on rouse checks from a wonderful dono. You succeeded, no problem. Give me that charisma. Give me that charisma and presence. So go ahead and click the attribute.
Okay.
And then add your 3.
Okay. What is the difficulty on this?
Put 0 for now.
Okay. Sus. I got a success, but it looks like also a 1 on the other special die.
You got a 3. My man got a 2.
Okay. So in that case, for roughly 1 hour, plus 1 for every point on the margin on the win, so 2 hours, I assume, this person is now infatuated with me, as if they are falling head over heels in love. They need to do their best to remain in my good graces, but stop short of causing themselves harm or their loved ones harm.
He's like, he just closes the little notepad that he was working up on writing some sort of ticket, some sort of citation. Just kind of like tosses it to the ground and like hurriedly goes over to you. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was what I was thinking. We're out in public and everything.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I find that sometimes being out at night can do that to people. And I think Cerise, when he drops the notepad, like, tries to stealthily kick it a little bit ways away behind them so that it, like, lands a little bit further away.
No worries. No problem. He unlocks your handcuffs.
Oh, thank you so much for doing that. Those are really starting to hurt.
I'm so sorry.
What do you usually do for the pain?
Well, I'm not usually the one putting them on. I mean, I could.
And I think Cerise holds out one of their hands, one of their arms. See? Look,
hands.
red welts all over my wrists.
The most apologetic puppy man comes out, and he begins to take your wrist softly in his two hands and just like rub gently and massage your wrist. Is there anything I can do for you?
That feels pretty good, actually. And I think as this man is rubbing Cerise's wrists, they take their other hand and they grab onto maybe like his collar and they pull him in a little bit closer. Cerise is still up against this cruiser, so I think they just like pull him in, like right up against them.
Yep.
And they look up at him right into his eyes and they smile, this sort of like crooked smile, innocence all behind it. And I think if you want to help me, you could continue to give me company. I have nowhere else to go, you know?
Yeah, I wasn't even doing anything. Wherever you need to go. I mean, I can take you to the hospital or something.
Ah, yeah, the hospital. But first, I mean, nobody else is around here, so... And they kind of look up at him expectantly. And they move their hands down from the collar down his side.
It's looks around, parked in a suspiciously empty alleyway. Maybe one that you knew about previous to this interaction. And he's like stuttering, but like leaning in and not saying anything, waiting for you to initiate something.
And I think Cerise, like, very aggressively, like, yanks him so that he goes down to to their height and leans in as if they were going to kiss him.
Mouth trembling open.
And I think as this man, like, goes to reciprocate the kiss, just before their lips meet, Cerise puts a hand up and stops him. Oh, sweetie, I don't kiss cops. I kill them.
What?
And at that, I think Cerise snaps his neck.
I'm not gonna make you roll anything.
And with this man dead, nobody else is around. Cerise feeds.
Excellent. You go to a 0 in hunger. You are fully refreshed, almost like a nice spa day, but in a seedy alleyway. Did you receive such treatment? Do you do anything with the body? Do you do anything with the cruiser? It's still on, just parked?
Viridian's probably not going to be happy with me if I don't do something with it, so yeah, I guess. And I think first Cerise goes to take the notepad that was kicked away, takes that, kind of pockets it. I think I want to pat this man down, see if he's got any keys, anything, you know, anything relevant on him.
Yeah, keys, wallet.
Just, yeah, anything that might be useful later. I'm going to take all of that. I'm going to drag this man very unceremoniously into the back and just kind of plop him in there, close the door, and I'll drive the car away. I'm gonna actually bring it over to Viridian's house because I figure Cerise does this kind of all the time. They don't really care about... I mean, Cerise is a fledgling. They're a newly turned vampire. They're new to this. They don't really understand what the best way to dispose of a body
true,
and stuff
bestie.
is yet. So they go to their sire's house with a new little toy to say hi.
Cerise, is there anything else that you do before you
No.
go all the way over?
No, that's it.
All right. Thank you, Cerise. You now have cruiser keys, a notepad, and a wallet in your possession. We scoot on over now to Wendy. Where could we find you right now?
Wendy is hanging out in an alleyway somewhere close by Homo Hill, just observing. They have like shoulder-length, dark purplish, mostly black hair, and they're in this big like pea coat that's a little too big for them, as I kind of lean up against the side and just kind of watch the street as people are walking by, practicing their ability to not be seen or heard.
Were you on your way to the shrine at all?
Yeah, probably heading back there. For sure.
You get a phone call from a eponymous, the one name word, Ted.
Wendy feels the phone vibrate in their pocket, and she kind of peeks at it, lets out the biggest eye roll that Korea probably has ever seen, and then hesitates for a second, wondering if he's even worth the hassle right now, as she was just heading home, and decides to pick it up, kind of leaning into, like, holding it, like, cradling in, still trying to be very, like, unnoticeable. Yeah?
I got information for you. Why do you sound like such a fucking bitch?
I mean, do we really have to get into that right now? What information?
I mean, I got the information that you've been wanting about some bigwigs.
Finally!
Come meet me over at I don't know, you got a bar or like a place that you like to go?
I haven't been here in 30 years. You think I've established what? No, I don't even, this isn't even the place I recognize. You pick. I'll find it.
Where were you headed?
I was just gonna head back to the shrine for no reason. I can meet you there.
I mean, if you say that for no reason, that's gonna make me think that you're there for a reason, but whatever, it's like the whole park. I'll head over.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'll meet you there. And she hangs up, stuffs it in her pocket, and starts thinking about all the horrible things that they can't say to Ted right now because they need that information, and just is like grumbling to themselves as they're walking towards the meeting spot.
Yeah. I think just after a couple minutes waiting for each other converging, can you tell me what Ted looks like?
Ted looks like any regular old military man who spent way too much time in Korea. He's got like, his hair is a little long because he thinks he's kind of a rebel. You know, he's so much more into the locals than anybody else kind of attitude. So he's very like a little plump for military life, I would say. Kind of like older, probably like 40-ish. Definitely clean shaven because that's the one thing he can't get away with. and definitely carries himself like he belongs here.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Very much.
Yeah.
Something he's not too happy about is whenever he and other Korean sort of other fellow military mates comment on how he and other Korean men seem to have this similar sparse, shitty beard hair situation.
Yeah.
He always gets very offended by it. He's dressed plain clothes, away from the base, just leaning against a tree near a bench sort of thing, just before the entrance to the sort of shrine area. It is the Bugundang Shrine, is the government office deity shrine, where it was placed there from Nansan in 1916. It is a simple, small, sort of little building that's only open about twice a year, but the entire park around it is incredible for sightseeing, for sunset watching. Inside, they're said to just be traditional pictures of Tangun and all sorts of altar accessories. But again, it doesn't seem like it's one of those 2 days of the year. It's closed, it's red, it's beautiful, it's serene, and unfortunately you have to meet Ted.
Yep.
Ted has a manila envelope for you. Just like flags you over with it kind of brusquely.
Wendy slows down her pace, walking even slower towards him. And finally, like, as her final step towards him, looks up, and like flashbacks of things that, you know, just memories start coming in, and she tries to like shake him away, and looks down at the envelope and is like, "You made me meet you for an envelope? We couldn't come up with a drop? Like, what's it? Do I have to read it?"
Yeah, you have to read it. I typed it up and then I printed it out and everything. I didn't know. Did you want it in a? What's a drop?
Okay, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Thank you. I appreciate you doing this for me. I promise. What's the quick Cliff Notes thing?
We got 4 situations. One of the 4 is not that serious. There is this gang called Hot Pink. They're in a territory war over in Cheonodong, the red light district. It's about like an hour away. There's some people in Itaewon involved with that. Some Japanese people. Speaking of Japanese people, you know about so there's this real estate agency. They do the like 9-1 Hannam, the Trimage. They do kind of a bunch of the Itaewon places. I mean, honestly, a quick news article search will point you to the Hino family.
Okay.
Hino. Apparently a Yakuza clan that's dying out.
Oh, well. Can't let that happen, can we? Haha.
Oh, shit.
That's a joke.
I mean, so if you want to help encourage that happening, I guess we can get some people working on that. But for the most part, they've literally just been doing real estate.
Interesting. Huh.
Let me think. What else? Have you heard of the song International Shipping?
Maybe. Sounds familiar.
And Wendy, it is familiar. I think, your base information of this Viridian character from working with Cerise a while ago. However, whatever the details may be, you don't have a lot of them anyway. But it does ring familiar. Yeah, they're kind of like they do bulk shipping. They do like the big
Yeah.
the big things, the crates that I forget what they're called. They do that. They do international shipping all around. They have a base in Korea, and then it's looking like the CEO of this specific one is actually a sole owner, Viridian Song.
And Wendy kind of has an idea of who he's talking about, obviously, but like is trying not to like
Yep.
let that on. So they're just gonna go, oh, okay. Is there anything particular that you have been looking into there?
Yeah, so the thing is that there wasn't any loose strings or loose ends on Song's side. It was just sort of more so some of the boys that I talked to, some of the gangsters around here. Something's kind of starting with that one. So it's not yet started, kind of brewing, I think. You know how most of the like actual Korean mafia, a lot of them are more like Busan sort of area. Seoul doesn't have too much of that, kind of got ran out, I guess, thankfully. But there's some organized white collar stuff. Not that I'm seeing what it is in particular, but there's some numbers that are being buried.
Then you can't touch it, can you?
Nah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But
All right. No, go ahead.
Something's
Continue.
just brewing. I smell it. Something's going on with that one.
Yeah. Okay. Could be that, that gut instinct that you're so great with.
It works.
Sure it does.
The last one, not too much. Speaking of my gut, I'm still on this one bank. And Wendy, I think this is a bank. There is this whole conspiracy theory in Ted's mind about the Min Bank, M-I-N, the Min Bank. The most successful sort of banking organization, company, whatever, within Itaewon, throughout Seoul. There was a K-pop idol that was even like endorsing the Min Bank. It's been getting a lot of that like new student sort of traffic. And Ted, whenever there's youngsters, whenever there's K-pop idols, there's a cabal. He thinks K-pop idols. There's just got to be something there.
Yeah.
With hypnosis. I'm still looking out for them. I still think that they're worth putting on this list.
Are you sure that's like your gut instinct and not just you eating food that's too spicy or something again?
That's very rude. That's incredibly rude.
Just saying. I know that pepper's a little rough for you sometimes. Just want to make sure we're going with the right gut. That's all.
There's just something about the elder of that family. I've only seen her a couple times. She does like art galleries. Ophelia Min.
Okay. All right. I'll look into it. I need you to do me a favor though. I need one of those like, you remember those like Walkman thingies, but like to play me? I don't know how to do it on my phone. I know my phone's supposed to be able to, but like, could you get me something that's like, can you have one of your guys just make me something that's like just music, and like, that would be good.
Like an MP3 player?
Sure. Yes. Like that thing, because that's what we call them now.
I'm sure I could find one that like blinks and bright lights and everything if you want that.
It's really simple, just like a play button with music already on it. Like, that would be great.
Music already on it. Okay.
Yes. Please.
Just like any music?
I can't suppose you'd put K-pop on it. Not that. Just, yeah. No, at this point, sure. Use your best judgment, Ted. I trust you. I can't figure out how to get my phone to do the thing.
Yeah, I can do that.
I'll look into your bank conspiracy and your shipping that you can't touch. I just want music on a thing.
Okay, before I leave, is there genuinely anything else that you need? I gave you. I mean, I don't know how fruitful this really ended up, but I can get you your damn MP3 player.
You know what? That'd be great. That's all I need. This is perfect. I have some leads to go on. I appreciate you. I know this is kind of weird to meet up, when we do these things, but I appreciate. And yeah, the music thing. So just text me or call me whenever you have that ready. That would be good.
I don't like texting. I can't see the characters, so I'll probably call you.
Okay.
All right. Goodbye. And just like gives you the envelope and just walks away.
Perfect. Wendy's just gonna sit at the tree that they were at and like put their back up against it and just start rifling through the envelope, like reading all of the stuff.
And I think you do, there are photographs. There are just kind of like, tabloid-esque, like little Polaroids. The first gang that he was talking about, there is custom-made like pink jean jacket or leather jackets with like patches on the back and patchwork done that just says hot pink. It seems to be mostly young women that are wearing it. But in one of the Polaroids, there's a shaky sort of depiction of one of the young girls with a knife just walking out in public. There's kind of like an aggressive stance going on.
Okay.
There is another sort of Polaroid of a billboard of Hino Real Estate. Get the condominium of your dreams, get the penthouse of your dreams, live in luxury, party rooms, billiards, live your, if you want to live in a German village just in the city for some reason, go for it. And many other sort of pensions out in the mountains where you can get certain other experiences. Hino Real Estate, that they are for you. And one of the photos seems to be kind of a creepy, shaky sort of Polaroid of what seems to be like a house tour or like an apartment tour with like a couple other people. And there is a picture of a blonde woman, bleach blonde, in a green suit, like pantsuit, looks very like official. Kind of wearing sunglasses. Strange.
No.
It looks like the outside windows, it is nighttime, but outside, you can also clearly see in the picture the like beautiful city lights, probably one of their selling points. No pictures about Song International shipping other than, again, a billboard. And again, somehow a Polaroid of a TV screen where one of the commercials for Minbank was playing. Ted does his best.
I'm surprised Ted is still using a Polaroid. At the same time, I'm not surprised.
The nature, it's just there. Wendy, is there anything else I can do for you?
No, Wendy's just gonna pour over unnecessarily and beat questions into her phone in hopes that her phone will answer them for her.
Alrighty. And finally, our last kindred. Viridian. You're at your office, perhaps in a sort of more sequestered, solitary little place where you, Calliope, standing behind you. Do you have anyone else that you wanted to bring to this meeting?
No.
Just you and Calliope. And because of that, there is a man seated across from you, kind of leaning back into the chair, heavily jeweled up, gross chest hair popping out of a like button-down shirt. And there's also only one other man standing behind him. Viridian, who are you? What do you look like?
Viridian is a broad-shouldered Chinese femme who wears, is currently wearing a green dress with a very deep V-neck cut into it. I think draped across the back of their office chair is a blazer. And they look to be about 40, in their 40s. Their black hair is cropped at their chin, and they wear simple but very expensive jewelry.
Gotcha. You are in the middle of a business meeting, a deal of some sort. This man has been making an appeal to move a great shipment, a bulk shipment of crystal meth into Korea using your services. A man that you worked with before, someone a little bit desperate, a little bit disgusting, and not so much a leader, but he's gotten some white-collar crime off his belt, but certainly someone's already had to go to jail for him. He's just kind of like this strange, like proudful sort of stance going on as he's leaning back. I'm telling you, not only do the college kids want it, the Korean housewives want it, the Russians.
Viridian is jotting down notes in their beautiful handwriting script on a spare notepad in front of them. And she is just kind of like, I think this whole time has been very politely listening to this guy just go on and on and on. He seems like a talker.
There's only so much you can say about moving a bunch of crystal meth into Korea.
Yeah, I feel like he's explained it like in so many different ways because Viridian's been sitting there quietly, and I think it seems like from his perspective he needs to keep re-explaining it because he thinks I don't understand. But I've got it all down. And Viridian just kind of looks back up from their notes and just holds a hand up to get him to stop talking.
Yeah, meth. Everybody in Korea loves. What's up?
I know what meth is. Thank you. I am interested in helping you with this problem. And I do think that mutual benefits are plentiful here.
Yeah, you got your cut. We all get our cut. Sorry.
Oh, I don't really care so much about the cut. but what you can acquire from me.
I mean,
And they
yeah.
sort of trail off.
Sure, anything.
I need a very specific violin. It is a restored Antony Stradivari, custom made.
Write
The
that
custom
down.
bow.
Write that down for me. And he's like getting his assistant to like quickly like conjure some sort of pen and paper.
With a poppy flower carved on the scroll of it. Specifically, this violin. And from like the desk drawer, they just slide out and they pull out a printout like picture, like they literally printed out a picture of the violin they want and slid it over the desk. This one.
Just looking at it. I mean, I'm sure we can find something. I mean,
No, not just something. I want that one.
and like we just gotta find a guy that can also carve the poppy in it, or is it?
No, this
it
violin.
comes-
This violin already exists. I need you to acquire it for me. Do you understand?
Yeah, but is it like in a museum already, or does it belong to somebody?
This is your problem now.
All right, I did. All right, you know what? I said anything. That's my fault. That was my fuck up. Jesus Christ. Yeah, sure. I'll get you your violin.
Good. Then I think we have a deal. And Viridian extends a hand out across their desk.
And again, he's just talking. And there's this shaking. There's this weird spike of LSD that's just been around. I keep seeing these like stickers everywhere, and like somebody, I don't know. Probably gotta take
And
him
this
out.
concerns me. Why?
Not at all. Doesn't do nothing.
And
We're still shaking
Viridian-
hands. What's up?
Yeah, enters Viridian. It's a normal handshake. And I think while shaking hands, Viridian leans in, and I would also like to use my Bloodhound ability to
Ooh, baby.
sniff this guy out. Which I believe is Resolve plus Aware.
Yeah.
What is my Aware? Oh, 2. Okay.
Jesus. Okay.
1. That is 3 successes.
Excellent. That was composure and wits for this guy. No successes. Great. He is, despite all of the rambling and all of that talk, he is scared at the moment. He smells scared.
As Viridian takes in the scent of this man's fear, this man with all of the lavish, gaudy accessories and clothing that he's wearing, his chest hair just out. Very, very unattractive. Viridian just kind of like leans across the desk. Get my mic in front of my face. Leans across their desk and just kind of like looks him in the eye. And they gesture with 2 fingers. And they smile and say, "And one more thing.
Leave. Get out of. Just step out real quick. And makes his assistant leave.
And once they're alone, Viridian is going to stand and walk around the desk until they are standing behind his chair. And they very gently run one of their hands through his hair from behind, and they move his head to the side, and they feed on him.
Do you intend to kill?
No. Just enough to satiate the little bit of hunger I've accumulated whilst listening to him babble on.
This sort of, although there is a very overcompensating scent of his cologne, thankfully it's not too overwhelming this time, but what overlaps in a delicious smell to you, because you love them scared, Viridian.
That I do. The fear is so enticing.
The goosebumps, the feeling of them tensing away from you, but staying.
Yeah, I have the I don't remember if I roll for this, but I have lingering kiss so that they are addicted to this. They like it. It feels lovely.
Is he addicted? Let's just decide.
I think he is, because you said I've dealt with him before, right?
Yes, you have.
Okay. And everyone who deals with Viridian Song knows what else they demand in exchange for their services.
267.
I know, I'm flipping through my book too.
That is a
Oh, it's
free
free.
cost.
free.
Maybe.
It's free!
Okay. You gain a bonus equal to half the user's presence, round up to social pools. I mean, the social interaction is ending, but he takes his second shivering at this point, becoming far more cold than he potentially even was. Do you leave him bleeding?
No, I think after Viridian has drank their fill, they gently swipe their tongue over the wound to close it. And then they kiss his neck. And they walk back around to their desk, but they let like one of their hands trail across the back, like across like his shoulder as they walk around, and they sit back down.
Pleasure doing business with you. I'll go find this fucking violin.
Hey, watch your language.
Sorry for slamming something on the ground. Yeah, I'll see you later. And then, but after he stops, he makes sure to bow to you, 90-degree angle. And then he leaves. Calliope, as soon as those two gangsters that you've worked with before, like, are a well sort of away down the hallway, Calliope just like, oh my god, like just breathes out from all the tension.
Viridian also just lets out a sigh, and they sit with very good posture, I think, but they even allow themselves to relax into their chair a bit, and they tear off the notes that they took, and they just like hold it up and behind them for Calliope to take.
I don't remember the violin from our notes before. Is that like sort of a new inquiry?
Yes. It's for an acquaintance of mine. I
Like
do
a
believe I've talked about him before. His name is Jet.
Oh, yes. Gotcha. He plays violin?
Viridian shrugs.
I mean, it's a beautiful violin. Okay.
Indeed it is. Very expensive, too.
Well, I mean, thankfully, I guess we're paying with meth? I don't know. You are also, I saw, you were getting contacted from Cerise. They are on their way over.
Oh. Good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. They didn't say why. I'm a little worried.
That's when you hear the familiar whoop, whoop outside.
Oh.
Calliope's like,
Viridian.
what?
Viridian, like, I feel like the camera is like right on their face as the little siren whoops, and you can watch Viridian's eyes just do like an exasperated roll, and they stand from their desk and they say, "Oh, another one, of course."
Another one.
And they lean to their like phone thing. I know offices have like those phones that you can like do like an intercom, but
Yeah.
there's like a button to like unlock my front door so that
Yeah.
no one has to like go all the way down there. So I'm gonna unlock the front door for Cerise.
Cerise, you are able to go into the parking lot. The dead guy. And you're in the back of your car.
Forgot about the body.
At some point, you're able to meet. What's up?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, as because I think there's also like on Viridian's like desktop computer, they pull up there's like security cameras or whatever, and they can see that Cerise is driving a cop car, and Viridian knows what that means, and they kind of just close out of the security cameras and turn over their shoulder to look at Calliope and just say, "Contact the cleaners, please." One day they will take care of this on their own, but today is obviously not that day.
And I think Cerise is just like in the parking lot. They're leaning with like one elbow up against the cruiser. They've got the handcuffs that were like used to put on their wrists, like twirling in the other one. And they look so proud of themselves as they're looking, like waiting for Viridian to come down.
Oh boy. Viridian just is watching this, and they sigh and they take their blazer and they put their blazer on over their dress, and they will walk downstairs.
사장님, I
Hi.
brought another one. I forgot what we're supposed to do with them and with the bodies, so...
We have a service for that. When you kill someone, and Viridian is like walking closer to you, and they stop when they're like only like a foot away, and they say, when you kill someone, when you drain someone, the bodies don't just disappear by themselves. I am fortunate enough to have contacts who can take care of this, and I will give you their contact information again so that you have it, and you can call them on your own.
Oh, I didn't realize that... hold on, 1 second. And Cerise goes to their pocket, pulls out their phone, kind of scrolls through it. What were they called again?
What do you mean?
Well, what's their name? I mean, I'm just trying to look for the contact in my phone.
There's many. We have a very discreet service. I don't know any of their names. They just show up when I call.
Such a name is so much easier when you handle it for me.
Viridian, like, takes a deep breath and just says, fine, but eventually, you will have to do this by yourself.
Eventually, when you're no longer around, but you're always around, so.
I hope to stay that way. And Viridian will turn and move back towards going back inside their house because I think Cerise likes just standing around outside and Viridian does not like just standing around outside.
Cerise will follow. We'll follow if it's very clear that you're done being here.
Someone at some point will come through. Cerise, do you relinquish sort of the keys?
Yeah,
Do
I
you
think it's a
keep
practice.
these cop cars, or what do you do with the cop cars? The player, is curious what you do with the cop cars.
You know, that's a very good question. Storyteller, may I ask a question
Yeah.
now? A very ridiculous one, which is I live in a very, very nice apartment. Would it be reasonable to assume that I have just a very large garage?
Yeah, of course.
All right, then yes, I keep these cars. We clean them first, obviously, but I keep the cars.
One bitch
After
has, 3 sports cars. It would be strange for you I think
Maybe
there's
not all of them,
yeah.
but some of them.
Are they all cop cars?
I think some of the here's the thing. I think Cerise likes to collect the different kinds of cop cars. So, there's like the different makes and models. There's like some of them are like undercover cars. Some of them are just like straight up cruisers. Cerise likes to have one of each. So I like to imagine that the one that they just got today from Ethan's older brother, whose name, well, I guess I'll never know, is one that they don't have yet. So I think when the person comes to take the keys, Cerise says, "This one I'd like back. Thank you."
And a cleanup job is ready to be done. Before anything happens, and just before we go to break, Calliope is just like running down and like attempting to like try to find the both of you in the huge parking garage. Runs over to you, Viridian, with a phone sort of just like at the ready. It looks like someone's calling.
What's this? Who is it?
It is Ophelia.
And I will answer.
Hello, darling! An old, elderly woman's voice, kind of shrill, peeks into your ears. In a few moments, one of yours is gonna come in with an important message. They might be bleeding a little bit. Please respond to my RSVP message. I will have Debbie send it shortly. Thank you. Come to my party tonight. Hangs up.
Well then. Viridian mentally compartmentalizes all of those varied, like the list of things that she was told to do, and just makes like a weird face and hands the phone back to Calliope.
Was it important? She's made it sound like it was important.
I guess we'll find out.
And we'll find out what that was all about after the break. Come back, stretch, relax, get some water. We will start right after the break with some Going Crit RPG announcements. Again, donations, $5 gets a reroll, gets a player reroll for a rouse check, $10 a feeding opportunity, $20 for a flashback that the players are very well ready to start using whenever y'all want. Thanks so much for sticking with us. Thank you so much for loving the story so far, and we'll see you for a very chaotic part 2 of tonight. See y'all. Welcome back, everyone. Quick Going Crit RPG announcements. Just as a reminder, Hellions of Karnocht is on Mondays, 4 p.m. ET. Farewell Yellow House finale is still being rescheduled. Please stay tuned for that. And if people miss the Spooktacular, all the VODs are now on YouTube. Thank you so much for all of the donations. And once again, the proceeds are all going to Nordic Frost, a coffee shop near the event in Itaewon. It is a fun setup specifically for anyone that is not in Korea but still wants to contribute. Before we get into what possibly could have been what this erratic call could have been about or for, let's have our first flashback. Viridian, Cerise, what's the memory? Set the scene.
So, it's a year ago, about, and I think when we see Cerise, we see them pretty much looking the same as they did before, except there's less glamour about them. They're still quite beautiful, quite attractive, but not in the same head-turning way as they are now. Their eyes are also not blue, they're brown. And I think Cerise is in a huff, and they enter into the familiar scene of Viridian's office, slam open the door. What do they find?
I think Viridian is sitting on, not at their desk. I think Viridian is seated at their couch, and they are reading the newspaper.
And I think Cerise just huffs on over, takes the newspaper right out of your hands.
What? Cerise, what are you doing?
I know the reason that you rejected me.
What do you mean?
Don't play coy with me. I know what you are.
And what is that?
Show me your teeth.
Viridian just holds your gaze. Their eyes harden, as if challenging you to back down. And when I assume you don't, Viridian smiles. And I think you can see their fangs.
That right there. Your teeth, your fangs. What, so is that the reason that you couldn't tell me how you feel?
Viridian just takes a deep breath as their eyes begin to glow red. And they hold your gaze and say, Cerise, as I told you back then, you can't love me, and I think you know why.
That's bullshit!
I am going to outlive you.
So what? I'm here now. Isn't that enough for you?
I don't know. I don't know. And
Viridian, you can't just make this decision for me.
I can't just what?
You can't just decide that we can't be together just because you're afraid that I'll die?
I'm trying to protect you.
From
I don't
what?
want you to get hurt.
Are you gonna hurt
Viridian.
me? Viridian.
No.
And Cerise, I
never.
think, gets closer to Viridian. Has Viridian stood up at all, or are they still sitting?
I think they have been seated this whole time, but I assume you come around, and as you advance on them, Viridian will stand up. And I am, I think, 8 inches taller than you, I think, right? Yeah.
And Cerise, I think, gets real close to Viridian and looks up. If you were gonna hurt me, you would have done it already.
There are things about who I am, about what I am. Sometimes I will not be able to control myself, and Cerise, I do not want you to be there when that happens. It's not an if, Cerise, it's when.
Cerise, I think, goes to grab Viridian's hand. You don't get to make that decision for me. I love you, Viridian. I want to be with you. And I know, even though you won't say it, I know that you love me too. So just let this happen.
You can't, and I'm going to try and pull my arm out of your grasp.
Cerise resists.
What do we, can we roll for this, or what?
Tell me what happens.
You are
Sorry,
very quiet.
I was very quiet. Tell me what happens. Did you break
Cerise
Cerise's arm?
I think Cerise has grabbed my wrist, and I'm just trying to pull my arm out, or my hand or wrist out of their grasp. And I do know that, like, because I'm a vampire, I am definitely way stronger than humans are. So I don't know if this would have to be a check, or if
No, I just want to straight up ask you, Viridian, do you think you break Cerise's arm?
No, but I think I pull away with way more force than I think Cerise was expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And if Cerise chooses to just hang on, I think I just yank you forward and maybe just into me then.
Yeah, I think Cerise stumbles into you, and you can see that there is a look of shock in their face for just a moment as because they know what you are, but I don't think they fully processed it at this point, so they don't fully understand the strength that you hold within your body, even without trying to. And so that surprise flashes across their face, but they kind of steel themselves. And as they are like up against you, Cerise kind of like pushes themselves off of you. You can't just push me away. You can't. I'm not gonna let you.
I have to. I can't.
No, you don't have to. You keep saying that you have to, but you have a choice here.
I am choosing you, but I want you to live happily. You can't fall for someone like me. The things that I have done, Cerise. Everything that I have done in the hundreds of years that I have lived. I find it very hard to believe that you would still love me.
If you don't love me, just say it.
You need to leave.
If you don't love me, just say it.
You need to leave, Cerise. Get out of my home.
You a question.
And I'm going to push you away. And probably into the coffee table.
And I think Cerise wasn't expecting that. Cerise wasn't expecting you to push them or anything, so they were not braced. They were not ready. And I think they just fall back. And I think they hit their head up against the coffee table and they slump down. And there is like a very small pool of blood that's starting to form on the ground.
And if I can add to this, I think Viridian's coffee table is this very like minimalistic, like mid-century modern kind of design. And when you fall into it, I think the glass shatters. And are you conscious at this moment?
barely, slipping quickly out of it.
I think Viridian, like, eyes wide in shock. I don't even think she was expecting that amount of strength from within them as well. And they let out a yell that is blood curdling, and they kneel down into the glass, not caring about scraping up their knees, and they try to cup your face in their hands, and they say, Cerise, I'm so sorry. This is why.
Viridian.
Stay with me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
And I think Cerise's eyes start to flutter, and you can tell, like, the life is draining out of them. Cerise is dying in your arms.
And I think Viridian pick up one of the glass shards from the ground, and they in without even thinking, they use it to cut their arm, and as the blood begins to pool down their arm, they shove it in front of Cerise, and they say, drink.
And I think Cerise doesn't fully even process what is being told, like what they're being told to do necessarily. But I think, so at first, I don't think that they even have the energy to comply. But the blood kind of like pools down your arm and against their mouth, and some of it, I think, starts to go against their lips and into their throat. And perhaps instinctually, when they get that first taste of Viridian's blood, their body just reacts and they drink.
And after you do so, I think Viridian also, because out of character, I know to turn someone, I need to drain Cerise completely. So I think after she's had that taste, Viridian picks up Cerise's body and lays it on the couch and will drink them dry.
We move from a glass tattered memory. And let's go over to our second flashback. Wendy. What's on your mind?
So Wendy is in the streets of Seoul, but it looks very, very different. People are protesting everywhere. There are lots of military Korean and American officials, like in military vehicles, kind of coming through. And Wendy looks about the same age, but very disheveled and dirty, just because they've also been out protesting and kind of amongst the crowd of people. Dust is kind of just flying everywhere as smoke bombs are being thrown at the crowds, and Wendy is in the 80s, early 80s, and there's government protests all around, and she just finds herself kind of wandering through the streets, bumping into people, trying to find her way through the crowd into an alleyway to kind of catch her breath, and they just kind of sit there and slump down. Similar shot to how we saw her in the beginning, but just very much, just slumped down, grabs a cigarette out of her pocket, lights it, and just starts puffing away, like trying to make the nerves like chill out, I guess.
Wendy, do you have anyone in the city that you can call your own? Do you have any fondness?
Not really. I mean, Wendy's been here for a while and watched everything change over the decades, but Wendy's kind of just at this point where they're done. They don't want to be trying to live this life anymore. They've been it's just been getting worse and worse and worse. And so Wendy starts for the first time just really thinking about how do I get out of Korea? Like, how do I get out of here? Where can I go? Where would it be a better place for me than whatever is happening here right now? And they pull out a card out of their pocket, like a business card, and you see Ted's name on it, their military rank, and then a number. So Wendy kind of looks at it, ponders a little bit, and thinks about if she could just get out, her life would be so much better. It had to be better. It couldn't be worse than what was happening here. The orphans lied to her. She thought they were going to be some sort of community, but they're just pretending to be this community. Or they're so disheveled and unorganized that they couldn't be a community if they wanted to be. And so she gets up and they start looking for the closest payphone, grabs whatever change in their pockets and just dials the number on the business card.
Do you want to go through that conversation?
We can. But we don't have to. But we can.
There's a quick pickup. A younger voice in an attempt at Korean. 20 years old, 20 years younger rather. Ted's voice. Chipper. Full of life. Hello, how can I help you?
Wendy like squints a little bit at the bad Korean. It's like, hey, it's me. We met at that bar, and it's okay. We don't have to do the Korean thing. I want to know if you can tell me about America.
I mean, the one thing is that what's happening here is definitely not happening over there. This is not that that's too much. It's a low bar, I guess. But I don't know. What do you want to know about it? Like, the opportunities?
I mean, you said it's not like here, right? So, what opportunities? Yeah, I hear there's people go there and make money, I heard.
People go there and make money, and I mean, I have family there. I know people. Like, my whole life is, back there. I've been setting some people up, getting them some help at, office jobs, resume building stuff.
Yeah, I think I need that. I think that's what I want to do. Can you get me out of here?
There's like a pause, and then maybe you're sensing like Ted psyching himself up. He's excited. Yeah, we're actually, you caught me at a good time. We're about to leave in like a couple days. Do you need a place to stay? Like, what's your situation?
And Wendy visibly hesitates. Like, she's heard all the horror stories. They've seen what this could maybe be. A couple of the orphans had already left and wrote back And at the same time, there's this little like nagging, like, this is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. But as Wendy opens their mouth again, all she can muster out is a, yeah, that'd be great. And like starts making arrangements with Ted on like where to meet up and what happens next. And then a sense of just overwhelming dread that she couldn't quite place while they were on the phone just comes over her as soon as she hangs up. But then she looks out on the street and the protests are going, people are running, people are scared. The news has been horrible. And they just kind of like puff their chest up and throw their shoulders back a little, and it's just like, well, we got this far, we can do this, right? This will be fine. This will be fine. Everything will be fine. It'll be fine. And they just kind of like make their way towards their like this place where they just kind of like hang out and stay to like grab whatever remaining stuff they have, and start heading for the base.
Was it fine?
No, it wasn't. There was... Wendy in America learned that while in Korea, their context and their existence was seen as like a bad thing, and they thought and were told that if they could just get to America, things would be better. But it wasn't better. And maybe for people like Ted, who nobody really knows where he came from, but for her, there was always that they could tell something was off about you. Mm-hmm. And so that community and that belonging that Wendy was looking for never happened in America either. But because America's America, it took them so much longer to try to get back than it would if they had just stayed to begin with.
Inflation rising, going all the way across the country without help.
Yeah.
Whether or not it was Ted, you also got into a little bit of a habit. How did you start?
Well, Wendy woke up one day and realized the grass is never going to be greener. And in order to make themselves be able to function in a society not fit for them, in many ways, they started smoking a lot of weed. Probably found their way, kind of just around various places, traveling, never really made it in a spot in America until they kind of decided to settle in New York City because it was easier to hide, and very easy to find the weed. So. Something
very familiar about the sub-level apartments, warehouse-esque.
Yes, a lot of familiarity, for sure.
Is there anything else that Wendy remembers in this moment?
Wendy remembers that they had family. That even though they were orphaned, more ways than one, there was some bloodline out there that Wendy was a part of. So while in New York City, kind of using their ability to blend in to their advantage in some cases, they started kind of digging a little bit more into what their past could have been, who their parents could have been, who their family could have been. And we see Wendy kind of pouring through libraries of records at the end of the flashback in America, in a city, looking for any scrap or resemblance of maybe some type of family that they just never thought to look for before.
You find a niece. She's moving to Korea soon.
All right. Like, this cold chill kind of comes over her. Like, thinking about going back, thinking about the life that they lived there, thinking about potentially running into people that maybe they don't want to run into. But with everything that happened, Wendy kind of realizes that they're going to have to make their own community one way or another. So they start forging papers for people to make money and to get themselves into a position where they can get back to Korea.
And that you did.
Yay!
Thank you, everyone, for the flashbacks.
Yes.
We return to an extremely chaotic phone call. The last thing Calliope Jin says to Viridian, her boss, was it important?
Muted, sorry. And Viridian, a TV show where they're replaying like the last seconds before the
Drama.
ad break.
Cut.
Yeah. Exactly. So Viridian is handing the phone back to Calliope with a bewildered expression on her face, and she says, "I don't quite know. It was Ophelia. She sounded very stressed, I'll say. Someone's coming and will be bleeding."
Several things happen at once, suddenly, as soon as you say that. Viridian, there's another call. It's Kyoko.
Viridian song.
Hey, can you make it back to the office? It's
I'm already here.
like in your office?
Out of character. Aren't I already there? Or am I at my
Y'all
house?
were in the parking garage, or if y'all went back.
Oh, okay. Then. Yes, I can get back there. Why?
It's about
What do you need?
it's about Sagwa. I don't know. It's the thing. Something happened. I gotta take care. And then it just abruptly hangs up.
Okay, I'll be there. Yeah.
And then so many chaotic things happening all at once. The world is spinning so fast. In everyone's phones, not just Viridian, Cerise, Jet, and Wendy alike all get a text message. Something that can be easily sent. No emojis, no things like that. Every Nokia user can in fact see this message. RSVP Blue Square meeting at 3 a.m. Highly recommend all attendance. Dress nice. Min Clan.
So
If
that's a name.
anyone- Yes?
Are we being invited to a party?
I think less party and more important meeting. I mean, if it was a party, it would say party, wouldn't it?
I suppose. I mean, not all of the fun ones do. Sometimes they're secret. But I didn't realize that you were involved in the case that I'm working right now.
I don't know. What case are you working on right now? Do you know what
I mean,
this
it
is
is-
about?
No, but I assume if somebody wants a meeting with me, it's got to be about my work, right?
I'd love everyone, Viridian, you don't necessarily have to do this. As all of you, we'll actually go through everyone receiving this text message, starting. We'll go back to Jet right from the very beginning. You are at the bar, we'll say, with Mama, enjoying a drink, ready to settle out for the night. You and Mama both get this text.
Okay. I give Mama a worried look. Do I have any knowledge of who this Min person is?
So, give me. What's the best duo for a recall?
Well, do you want me to, like, I mean, I don't have politics, but if you want me to roll politics for that, or I do have streetwise.
Or
Yes.
etiquette.
Or etiquette. Give me.
Yeah.
Everybody can just decide. Viridian, you don't have to again. Choose between the 3 skills: etiquette, politics, or streetwise.
Okay.
That'll be different contexts, and then please use. It's gonna have to be intelligence.
Okay. How many successes do I need?
For Jet, 2. Wendy
2.
and Cerise, 3.
I'll take half on a streetwise check.
Yeah,
So that's the difficulty, correct?
3. Yeah.
Can you explain what take half means?
You
Yes.
take your total pool, and instead of rolling them, if half of your pool reaches the difficulty, then you can take that half, and it's an auto success.
Cool.
Yes. So for instance, for me, my pool is 2 in intelligence plus 4 in streetwise. I just need to hit a 2, so half of 6 is 3, so that is an automatic success for me.
And that was streetwise and intelligence.
Yes.
I mean, the name of the person, the voice in your head every time the beast calls, had that last name. Came from some amount of power.
Okay. Oof. That's annoying. Okay. So yeah, I asked Mama, like, are you going?
Mama looks a bit troubled by this, but there is still like a recognition in the message. Yeah. Kid, can you give me a ride?
Yeah, of course. Do you mind if we stop somewhere first?
Yeah, of course.
Of
course.
Actually, might as well. We can stop by your place if you need a change, not to say that you look. It just says dress nice or whatever, and you see Jet is in a leather jacket with like a bunch of eyes on his sleeve and a bunch of eyes on the back of his leather jacket. He has like a yellow crop top t-shirt and like tight kind of like pants with like black leather boots. He's like, guess we got to dress to impress, so.
Well, you might as well come to my place. I have a much better, more extensive closet than I'm sure that you have.
Of course, yeah, sure. And on the way, my busker friend, where would I find her?
I mean, where else other than we'll say that there's a particular spot near Hannam, and we'll even say conveniently Mama lives near Hannam, near a particular Koryoin district or the Russian-Korean district.
Mhm.
Violin music is already going.
I stopped the car. Like, I like parked the car like near Mama's place. Like, I'll follow over to your place. I just gotta check on something real quick.
It's gonna take me about like 30 minutes to get out of this outfit, so take your time.
And like I give her a wink, and then I start running to the violin music.
The streets are lined with beautiful, sort of fairy-esque white and blue lights that refract and hit upon not necessarily a historically accurate Lolita-like dress, pink with a purple tone, beautiful white stockings, long, similarly pink hair, almost bug-eyed, wide eyes as she performs. A white violin, slightly run down, slightly yellowing in the places where she has to hold it. Natalie has made not necessarily the best pool for herself, considering everyone is partying, but she seems to be enraptured in her own art, her own undertaking. She's not paying attention.
Yeah, I take a few bills out of the guy's wallet, like from earlier, and I take everything out, and then I just plop it into what I assume is like a violin case on the ground, and just like stand in front of her, give her a little smile, just admire the whole performance until she finishes. And once I get a word in, I say, "You got a minute?"
I think when she eventually sees or hears you approach, she doesn't speak to you until she finishes her song.
Mm-hmm.
But she maintains eye contact with you with her strange eyes.
I also don't speak to her until she ends, actually.
Gotcha. She stops, looks at you over, kind of like holding, just like gently kneeling down to look at the money, and then sort of sets the violin down as well. It seems like you have reaped much fruit. Is this all from tonight?
No. I have a bit more. It's just from a special customer. I think you'd be better off with it.
Did you kill someone?
Me? No. Of course not.
She squints at you. Well, thank you. Is this your only gift for me? What do you need to speak to me about?
I just wanted to see you, and at this point, I actually wanted to do something while she was like, playing, and I will probably take this at a penalty.
Okay.
I wanted to do a wits and awareness to see if there's anybody who is trying to send them a message about this thing, knowing that Natalie cannot use technology.
Technology, right.
Yes. So
give me that one more time. You're trying to find out if anyone has communicated to Natalie or is communicating to you.
has communicated, like, if anybody's around trying to communicate to Natalie.
Gotcha.
Or like,
yes. No penalty. Go for it.
okay. 3 successes.
Yeah. Literally, everyone is partying. Nobody's around. It is like almost 3 a.m. We'll say like 2:30 or so. And she has just been in this little area busking at the worst hour, truly. But it's not like she can perform any earlier necessarily. It's just you and her.
I tell her, well, look, I just wanted to see you, and if anything happens, well, you know.
Are you going to die? Is that why you have? Are you going to
No.
curse me with the knowledge of your death? Is that what's?
No. I just don't know what's gonna happen. So if you don't see me for a few days, then it's not that I'm avoiding you.
I would personally curse you if that were the case.
Of course. All right. Well, I gotta get dressed for this thing, and I'm really, really glad to see you.
Yeah, because you dress like shit.
Hey, I think I look fantastic. And he does kind of like a twirl. All right, Miss Lolita fashion thing. You're lucky that you're cute. Anyway, I'll catch you later. And as I'm saying that, I'm like jogging back to Mama's place.
Excellent. You get dressed.
Mm-hmm.
Switching over to Wendy, you receive a text. You're still by the Bugundang shrine, looking over the envelope, and you get a message from not a number that you know about.
Wendy has been using their phone as a flashlight, chilling out outside by the tree. So when the text comes through and their phone vibrates, kind of drops it and it's like, oh, what? And like, because it startles them, but then picks it back up and takes a look at it. You've got to be shitting me. Thinks for a moment whether or not they're even gonna bother Ted about this, which the answer is no, because why would they help them that much? And looks down at her folder with her papers. They're very excited for a very cozy night with. Looks at the thing, focuses on the dress nice. Looks down at themselves, sighs, and then gets up, gathers all their stuff, and starts heading for their destination.
And cutting over to the Dream Hub again, to Cerise and Viridian, we'll say that y'all have made it to Viridian's office. The scene that you come back to, there are guards ready, just sort of 2 on either side of your office door, allowing you in. Calliope shuffling in. Kyoko has laid Sagwa out onto a couch. Has like a towel, has something, like maybe even like she took her jacket off, and kind of cradles Sagwa's like face so that Sagwa can cough up the blood that is gushing from their mouth and their ears.
Viridian is going to just rush over to their side and kneel down, and is going to look up at Kyoko and say, what happened? Who did this to her?
Kyoko, your sort of buzz cut, shaved side, butch lesbian, one of your coterie members, the head of the famous girl gang Hot Pink, a boxer, a bodyguard, a loyal friend. She says, we were just out, and all of a sudden Sagwa's just like mumbling about something, and then just starts coughing up all of this, and like just like kind of
Sagwa.
gestures.
Sagwa. And Viridian is going to lean in close and gently cup Sagwa's face in their hand. And they're going to say, "Did you see something? What happened?"
Sagwa is another sort of like bleached hair, light purple, long hair, gender fluid person in a like clearly purple, all monochromatic, all purple like partying outfit, and Kyoko dressed in all black, wearing sunglasses, usually wear sunglasses rather, but has them pushed up, which is rare. Some blood also streaming down as tears. But Sagwa, as they are, as natural Sagwa, as is natural for them, is smiling throughout all of this, making light jokes like, "Whew, that was a lot." Yes. I'm okay. I'm okay.
You don't look okay.
I feel okay though.
Did you see something?
Yes. I saw something. Okay.
And Viridian, while Sagwa talks, is going to like look up and I think lock eyes with Cerise first, and just gesture to like like a far side table where there's like a tissue box, and like is telling you with their eyes to go get something so I can help clean up the blood.
Yeah, I think Cerise has been mostly kind of like trying to not get in Viridian's way, because I think they know that when Viridian is working, it's best to not do that. And also partially, I think, because there's just so much blood, and Cerise is trying very hard to keep their cool. So they welcome the distraction, and I think they go to get the tissues and actually start cleaning up the blood themselves.
I mean, they've never been this wild before. Okay. The park around the shrine.
Yes. What about it? Is that where you were?
That's where my mind was. The building, the door was ajar.
The shrine?
The shrine. It's never ajar. It's it's only open like a couple times a year. Regional guardians. Haeta. The masks.
What do you mean? The masks. What about them?
And I should make you do a check about this, so I guess I shall.
Yeah. Let me do a check about this.
Let me do a check. Cerise and Viridian, give me either academics or occult, technically. Plus intelligence.
Would I get anything for my research?
Yes, add one extra dice.
Okay, perfect. What's the difficulty?
I won't tell you.
Okay. One success.
I rolled, I believe 3 successes, and one of the non-hunger die was a 10.
Gotcha. Cerise, you probably have to like Google it or something. But Viridian, you do calligraphy.
Google.
You do calligraphy. You've been requested of a couple things, maybe some office gifts every now and then. You remember the very off-putting traditional Korean masks of a particular Rite of Spring play. It is a play where everyone is masked, and there is one person wearing a mask that's supposed to represent a feminine person. The bride, Gakshi, with red dots on the apples of the cheeks, a tight-lipped smile. This actor can never touch the ground. As a representative of, if there is any situation where in the opening ceremony, although it is more recognized as a play, the intention is spring wouldn't come. And then there would be political commentary about power dynamics and nobility, as well as corrupt philosophers and teachers, and just sort of a very humorous but certainly strange play to those who aren't used to it, but it is a joyous celebration. You recall, and this general sort of visage of all of the masks click in your mind. So all the things that Sagwa has said is the Shrine Park, regional guardians, and the masks of the Rite of Spring.
And I think I'm going to take like a fistful of tissues from Cerise and use them to start helping Sagwa clean her face.
Am I supposed to eat these?
No, don't eat the tissue. It's for the blood. You're getting blood on my couch.
No. It's all over Kyoko's jacket. It's fine.
And Viridian like wipes away like some dribbles that are like down like the front of their couch, and they just say, "And on my couch." But it's okay. I just care that you are okay.
Calliope.
Can I clean that
sorry.
for you? Can I clean your couch for you?
Yes, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
No, can I clean your couch for you? Is that disrespectful with you here? And Cerise kind of looks over at Sakwa.
Are you talking to Sagwa or Viridian? Sorry.
To Sagwa.
You're gonna bathe me?
No, I meant the couch.
I don't understand what's going on.
And I think Cerise just takes their hands, which they had been cleaning up like some of the blood off the floor and stuff at this point. They kind of take their hands, which are like, I think like dripping in blood. They take a finger and they lick it. Is that disrespectful with you here, Sakwa?
No.
All right then.
You might become an oracle. Who knows?
That could be fun for me.
Calliope cuts in as all of whatever cleaning things happens. We gotta go. We gotta get into a car. We gotta go.
I know. Did the two of you get that text message?
I mean, Kyoko speaks up. We've been a little busy. Checks her phone. The Min clan invitation?
Yes, that one.
That's weird.
It looks like we all got it. And Viridian's going to turn and just look back at Cerise, and like as they make eye contact, Viridian's eyes are doing what are you on about kind of like confused a look. And they say, looks like we all got the invite. Peculiar, isn't it?
Not if it's a meeting. Meetings require people. Although I'm not
Well,
quite
you
sure
said
what
it
it
was
is.
about your case.
Well, I assumed it was about my case, but now I'm not so sure.
And Viridian is going to walk over to their desk and grab their blazer, and just put it on over their shoulders. And they look towards Kyoko and Sagawa and just say, "Why don't the two of you clean up yourselves?
Yeah.
And come if you can, but I'm sure they won't mind if you are not there, and I can cover for you, obviously."
If you don't mind just, giving us the spark notes or whatever.
I don't understand that reference, but yes, I will tell you what happened at the meeting.
I'll give you the smart notes, don't worry about it.
Were you American? I don't know, whatever.
Canadian, it's similar.
And in all manner of carpooling, converging all to the Blue Square, the culture complex of the performing arts. On November 2011, Blue Square, the culture complex was built to advance performing arts of all sorts. It houses or surrounds auditoriums, art galleries, restaurants, bookstores, and so much more. Notable for the large figure piece of a blue square implanted into the ground by a single point. All of you are directed by a number of seemingly ghouls or kindred in black suits, sunglasses, unassuming, all equipped with some earpiece. They are gentle with all of you. It's intimidating at first, but there's a surprising hospitality. One of them even seems to recognize someone and says, "Oh, it's nice to see you again. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for coming." Wendy, Jet, Cerise, Viridian, all of you find yourselves in an auditorium with blue seats, housing over 1,700 at max capacity. Although it is an auditorium and there are seats and everything is elevated, people seem to be happily mingling around. There is a rough amount of 100 or so people here tonight. Certainly the impromptu nature of this. Maybe not everyone was able to come, but this meeting, the expectation is to spread. One notable thing is that there seems to be a herd of about 20 to maybe 30 mortals carrying what seems to be silver trays with little cards, little plaques of some sort. You haven't gotten close enough to one of the mortals to see what's going on. They're all dressed in white suits with champagne flutes of blood. And again, they are very hospitable. Are you interested? Would you be interested in this one? And I think just as all four of you are entering, there is a young, bright-eyed, kind of excited, young, we'll say 26, 27 even, young woman with long black hair. She looks very normie-core. She looks just so normal, besides the fact that she is very excited to speak to all of you for some reason. Hello. thank you so much for coming. If you are interested, I have some of my blood available for you to sample or to enjoy. And you see on that little plaque is her name, Grace. And her blood type. We'll say it's fucking A negative, whatever. And I mean, all three of you that have Bloodhound, all kind of the smell of her. It seems like even everyone in this room, they're the kind of the natural scent of blood. I won't make y'all do a Bloodhound roll. This is clearly sanguine. The almost fruity, spiced perfume that comes with that, or however it manifests for you. And there's something, because of how excited she is, there is something very acute about it. So if any of you wanted to enjoy her blood, you could find out a little fun thing about it.
Given that we are Ventru and we are very picky, is Grace of the palette that I am interested in?
No.
And
By
I think I can
extension, I think by extension that also applies to Cerise then, yes?
yes.
Jet, you were saying?
And I
I was just gonna say she seems sober, so
She is sober.
yeah, Jet is also going to decline.
Wendy's gonna decline, but just because they're not sure if they're gonna like the blood, because they're back.
You have
there,
a
so.
Capri Sun in like in
Yeah,
an inner pocket.
like I just like oh, yes, I want to take it out and just because I'm that person at this party.
You're bringing your own food to the party.
Yes. Own Tupperware, everything.
I do want to establish at this point, I'm looking around, I'm with Mama. Apart from Mama, I do gravitate closer to Viridian and Cerise because I know them.
Mm-hmm. Do we
just
see
to
you?
establish
All of you
it.
see each other at this point.
Yeah.
Because Grace was like, drink my blood. Like she was very in your face about it.
I think upon seeing Jet, after like very nicely letting Grace down easy.
She's so depressed.
Yeah, and I
She
think like
goes away.
if Cerise were to reach for one, Viridian would hold a hand out to be like, no, because you will barf. And I'm not about to have you do that in front of all these people.
Actually, I just realized something. Sorry to cut you off. Jet first declines and then realizes, oh wait. And he partakes, but he doesn't drink it. After he's done with Grace, he's gonna take out a vial and spit it into a vial.
Please give yourself, or like mark it in an inventory that you have sanguine. Do you need to know of any dyscrasias?
No. I just
Okay.
need to know the residents.
Sanguine.
Fantastic.
All of you watch Jet just pull out a vial, no problem. Mama will excuse herself. Jet, she like places like a gentle hand on you, and just like
Yeah.
goes off into the crowd.
Yeah, I just give her a nod.
What is that vial for, Jet?
Do you really want to know, or because I can
always wanna
explain.
know.
Well, let's just say I can make new things with different types of blood. At this point, you're kind of knowledgeable already of like the things that I do, of like thin blood alchemy. Whether or not you know the intricacies of it, he's explained before that he does these kind of like formulas, and you notice that at this point, you notice that Jet is also wearing kind of like a thicker kind of like fur kind of jacket with like this like kind of like very posh kind of like avant-garde dark kind of like button down and like trousers and boots. And you notice that inside he's pretty much strapped. He has like his pistol, he has a sawed off, and he has like a bunch of his vials within because he's not sure what's going on. And yet like yeah.
Nobody took any checked for weapons or anything like that. Just let you in.
Yeah.
It did
You clean up
Calliope
good.
come in with me?
Thank you.
Yes, Calliope's there.
Speaking of people who clean up good, Wendy!
Wendy just has a juice box in one hand and like,
Hey! Come on over here.
okay. And then like,
For
Stop
someone
yourself.
who has their fangs, I find it funny that you would rather drink out of the bag.
you don't know where these people have been.
Fair.
That's what makes it exciting, though.
Had enough excitement for one lifetime. Does anybody know what we're doing here? Any at all?
No, but I'm ready for anything, and I'm just like looking around, just trying to scope what we're noticing right now within the crowd.
I think Viridian also, like, as the three of you are talking to one another, Viridian has been scanning the crowd, looking for any other kindred that she might know of.
Yeah, easy enough. Debbie Min, the like 6'5", like tall, what your gaslight gatekeep girl boss friend, the heir to Min Banking.
Mm-hmm. And I think Viridian will just politely excuse themselves, and as they move past Cerise, Viridian just leans down into Cerise's ear and just whispers, "You behave yourself." And they will walk across the room to Debbie.
It's nice to see you.
Hey, Debbie. Do you know what this is about?
It's my godmother again.
Do you know what's up with Ophelia? She called me earlier tonight.
Yeah.
Seemed quite stressed.
Did she sound stressed? It sounded like she was having fun. I don't know. I mean, it's a good thing that you got here as soon as you did. There's gonna be a big message. Big ol' little speech. People are not gonna like it.
What do you mean by that?
Do you know how many current territorial conflicts that I've counted throughout just a general geographical region?
Well, I feel like you're about to tell me, so...
In Itaewon, there are at least 10 small ones and 5 that could make all of our lives fucking hell. It's hard to explain, but she's gonna ask you and a couple other people to meet her after everybody gets upset by what she says. I don't know. It's just been very stressful to accommodate to her schedule. It seemed to be important enough. So.
Well, would you like to meet some of my other acquaintances? And Viridian just kind of like turns her body and gestures with a hand towards Cerise, Wendy, Jet, and the other people who are sort of standing around there.
Debbie kind of gives all of them a scrutinizing eye of like, do I have to?
Viridian kind of turns back and sees Debbie's facial expression, and they chuckle to themselves and say, I'll take that as a polite no.
Take it as the rudest no if you need to. I gotta get
Okay.
ready. I can. She's floating around somewhere. And Viridian, as you shuffle wherever you need to, a slight tap to a microphone is heard. The smallest.
Yeah, I think like as Debbie disappears, Viridian will just walk back over to the group. And we're sitting, right? It's an auditorium situation?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll
People
sit
are
down.
sitting, standing, whatever. A short, like 4'11", old woman. It's sort of a rare sight to see a kindred so truly like aged. But she makes it work. She has the energy of that grandma in New York that only wears green. But she is like emaciated but happy and wearing blue tulle and like a ballerina tutu and like a big puffy shirt, and she has like barely any hair, but she has it like in a bun in like a certain way and has like a cute little like pin in hat kind of thing. This is Ophelia Min with her big sort of like bottled glasses and her strange puppeteer voice over the phone as well as in person is very much the same. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Feel free to be seated. I think she goes through maybe a couple of like greetings and like general maybe community announcements. I really hate to continue to drag this along, so I will get right to it. There is a grave matter in Itaewon. The government office deity shrine, Pugundang, was desecrated last night. We, the few elders in this room, have decided, and please everyone, with your heart, your dead, unbeating heart, understand where we are coming from when we say this. Again, we, the few elders in this room, are calling on a truce to all current conflicts and implore you young ones to do the same. Immediately, the room erupts in people protesting, people kind of murmuring to each other. What is she talking about? What do you mean? There's so much that needs to be done about this one issue. Ophelia says, I know. For some of you, I'm not even one of the old grandmas that helps make decisions in the community. The shrine was broken into, which, if any of us have any respect for history, respect for what that shrine stands for and the many others, it's disgraceful. Why it is a particular kindred issue is because a young college gentleman, Korean, was exsanguinated and found inside the shrine, almost desecrating even the ancient texts, pictures. Thankfully, a custodian saw it, that it was ajar, but less so, thankfully. We need to remove the body from the city's morgue. If you are to participate in finding this kindred, to participate in the general investigation of this manor, there will be a handsome reward for you from the Min Bank. If there are any other questions, please refer to my many wonderful children, and God bless all of you. Good night. Please, there are some to-go boxes if you need. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go sit down now. And then Ophelia kind of like hobbles off stage. What's on everyone's mind?
I think
When-
Cerise.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go. No, you go.
Wendy is doing the neurodivergent thing of going back through her mind to make sure it wasn't her that did it, but she's a bagger and doesn't drink blood and doesn't kill people, but she just hangs out there sometimes, and maybe perhaps it could have been her and she just didn't know. So they're very just like, oh my gosh, did I do something that I wasn't supposed to do?
Hi, Stella.
Dang it, you guys finished first!
Ah!
Cerise?
I think Cerise is interest is piqued because from their understanding, they were perhaps the only kind of, let's call it messy, hunters, feeders in the area. So to hear of another is interesting, but also I think Cerise is already kind of like in lawyer mode, is thinking about like, we need to get the body from the morgue. Easy enough, just put myself on the case. Probably will need to fight the prosecutors for it though. They're probably gonna want to look at it first, but I'm sure we could. And I think like they're trying to think about like which cops are gonna be on this case, which prosecutor is gonna be on this case. So they're already kind of like going in their head.
Jet is definitely thinking of who from his contacts he can kind of like pull to kind of like ask about like just kind of like what Cerise is kind of doing. Instead of putting themselves in the case, maybe who owes them a favor in the hospital, and maybe he can figure out the identity, because if it's a college kid, it's his clientele. His clientele is being fucked with. He's losing money. He doesn't like that. Also, he sees this as an opportunity to kind of prove himself. So he's looking at Viridian, Cerise, and Wendy in a way that maybe this is an opportune time to work together. He's just waiting for an opening to like talk to them and like, okay, what can we do with these people?
Viridian, what are you thinking?
I think inwardly, Viridian is concerned about this, of course, being a breach of the Masquerade, and is concerned, I think, mostly about getting that body out of the morgue before the police and other people who might know any better that having a body turn up that has been completely drained of all its blood is not a coincidence. A normal murderer does not do that, and it would very easily point towards the supernatural in the city. And so I think that is Viridian's first concern. The money is of no interest to them. But that is sort of what they're thinking about, and they are staring sort of straight ahead, watching as Ophelia walks off the stage and is also scanning the crowd, given all the dissent in the calls for a truce, scanning the crowd and seeing who might look the most upset. It's just Viridian is looking for any and all information that may possibly be useful to her at a later date.
I mean, I think easy enough. There is a bleach blonde in a green suit that seems to be has her arms crossed, foot tapping. This is Rie Hino, real estate agent, Yakuza clan heir. But before, I think you're even able to get a better look, Debbie walks in front of all four of you again. Well, not again, for the first time. It appears I do actually have to talk to all of you and your acquaintances. All four of you, please come with me.
What is going on?
You're being called to speak to my godmother.
Oh, of course. And Viridian is going to turn back around to the three of you, and you are watching them just sort of like straighten their blazer out a little bit more. It's clear that Viridian respects Ophelia. And they make eye contact with each of you, their eyes landing on Cerise last. And they linger on you, Cerise, their eyes flashing with red as if a warning.
And I think Cerise's eyes kind of flash back at you, and they smile this coy smile as if to say, don't worry about it.
Viridian's face just, like, they narrow their eyes ever so slightly. And then they turn back around and they'll follow Debbie.
All of you are led along a long hallway. Taken to a very comfortable, closed off sort of lobby area. Guards at a respectful distance walk behind you. And then as you are ushered in, Ophelia sits in she's like swallowed in an extremely comfortable chair. Her furs and tulle sort of swallowing her as well. Debbie closes the door, stands behind her godmother. Ophelia gestures for all of you. Please, please, everyone sit.
Jet. Everybody's seen Jet before for a while now. He's always been easygoing, very relaxed. At this moment, he is very uncomfortable, kind of agitated, and he's the last one to enter the room, and he honestly does not want to be there, visibly. But he does come in reluctantly.
Well, it seems as if all of you are acquainted already.
We're, friends is maybe putting a fine point on it. We're all, business partners, let's say.
That makes things much, much easier. We can let all the formalities and walls all come down. Anyone need any refreshments before we get into a fairly serious conversation?
Wendy pulls out another bag from their snack size portion.
Like single serve.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very cute, very inventive. Does anyone partake? There's
I think
champagne
Cerise is
flutes.
curious. Yeah, Cerise is curious and will kind of look at each one. Cerise is the only one in the party that doesn't have Bloodhound, and so doesn't know what the heck is in front of them. And I think they kind of like, their hand goes to one and they look at Viridian expectantly to tell them whether or
Yeah,
not
I
it's
think-
okay.
Are any of the blood offerings of someone who is corrupt?
Ophelia has you covered and is like, No worries. I know of your family palate. I made sure to get these points to 2 champagne flutes. These particular ones are from a crime lord in Busan. Something something fishing, something something drowning. A bad person altogether.
Good enough. And if it's okay with you, Hamna, I'd like to imagine you were reaching for the third one that isn't those, and Viridian just reaches over and takes your wrist gently and just pushes it over to one of the other two.
Thank you, Sajangnim. And Cerise will take that one and start
And-
drinking it.
Viridian will take the one that Ophelia has offered.
Ophelia
Is
looks at
only polite.
looks at Jet. Do you want anything?
From you? No.
Viridian just kind of like shoots Jet a look of like, what is your problem with Ophelia?
What is wrong with this old lady that you hate about her?
I know, like, what did Ophelia do to you?
You also notice like he just gives a shitty look to both Ophelia and what was her name?
Debbie.
Debbie. Yeah. And he takes out his own baggie, his own Capri Sun,
Mm-hmm.
but he only pretends to sip it. You notice that he doesn't really sip it.
Wendy like
I'm-
goes to like cheers and then like puts it back down.
Yeah.
I understand. It is. We did. There was a lot that was mentioned. Well, I would like to open the floor very briefly for any questions about my message. Before I get into some very interesting demographic information about the young man.
I just have one question. Why us?
Wherever Cerise is certain to be wherever you are, Viridian. Song International Shipping CEO. A major immigration and visa defense lawyer. A private investigator, looks at Wendy, with no last name. And the King Plug. Is that the term? The King Plug of the streets.
Yeah. You can say that.
Certainly. I think all 4 of you are very qualified into helping me specifically with something. And
What is it
specific
that you...
rewards. Go for it, sorry.
Oh, Viridian says, what is it that you desire help with?
No one else has any. Before I get to that one, that will organically transition us into the other information. No other questions from the 3 of you?
Do you know who did it?
No, we don't.
Any leads?
It only happened last night, unfortunately.
The person who found the body. Who were they?
A custodian of the park. Just a person. We can get you in contact with them.
Would I already know that?
Most likely.
Okay.
I think Ophelia's like older man, black, has a slight scar on just right here. And you probably know that as just like the Harabuji, like grandpa kind
Yeah.
of figure.
Yeah. Probably call him Harabuji too.
Whatever.
No, go ahead.
Viridian just kind of looks between the 2 of you and says, whatever this custodian might have seen, I can deal with that. No problem.
Deal
We
how?
don't need to. The custodian is just fine. The custodian need not see any more death. To give you this demographic information, she pulls open a notebook. Viridian. This young man's name was Kim. Oh God, what was it? Kim Koo-hyun. Kim Koo-hyun was a Yongsan International School of Seoul student. He was studying... Oh, what was it? He was studying a very general business major. This young man, making ends meet, worked in one of your warehouses.
Is that so?
When he was found, he had a cute little rainbow sticker on his face.
Viridian side eyes Jet.
Do I remember the name?
Do you want to give me a wits awareness to see if you remember?
Sure.
I don't know if it would be a wits awareness though. What would it be?
Let me check my...
It can be wits awareness if you want to use that, because my brain. It's gonna be hard.
You want me to do
sure.
leadership because I have a specialty in bar crowd?
Sure, absolutely. This will be a difficulty of 4, however, because you have hundreds of clientele.
Gotcha. So oh shit. It's a critical 4.
Critical 4.
Yeah.
Ooh.
This was one of, I think, the kids that split up a batch of maybe a sticker sheet of a sort, with maybe 3 other of his friends just wanting to have a good night after an exam. Otherwise very unnoticeable, just a kid that wanted to have fun.
Okay. Can I remember at least a friend of theirs?
Oh, sure.
Not necessarily a name, but maybe either in my contacts, or if Kyun probably has their contact, I can probably look back later on.
I definitely need to give the dead boy a different name from Kyun, because Koo-hyun, it sounds too similar. We'll retcon it properly. I think you have a weird feeling for whatever reason. You need to talk to Jesse or the girl whose boyfriend walked all the way back home.
Okay.
Those 2 sort of are in your mind.
Okay.
And another very interesting thing is that he's American.
Huh.
Specifically with a military background. This young man, I think, is at a very interesting intersection between all 4 of you. I don't believe that either of you did this, but I do believe all 4 of you are the key to finding out who could have done this. I apologize for the very abrupt message, Viridian. I know that your little oracle friend has a hard time in general. But perhaps this... When I was also notified from my other premonition children, whatever it may be. I have my own little sources that a person with a Hahatal mask was also seen.
Yes. And Sagwa will be fine.
I'm very glad about that. But for the four of you, I would like to give very specific rewards for this task. This is an investigation, after all. I'm sure you, Cerise, are very familiar with that's a certain process in doing it in the ways that you would like to, which is something that we need. I will warn, certainly this truce period that we have decided is most likely going to brew different problems. But here, I would like to sweeten the deal for all of you. If all four of you, as a group or whichever, are able to help find who could have done this, Viridian, I would like to secure you an expansion to other continents. I'd like to widen the web with which your shipping company can travel the world. Cerise, I have a very rich clientele, many in need of people coming into the country, many who would be very interested in getting you very conveniently up in the records, whatever that means. But some precincts can maybe get out of your hair a little bit more, or a lot. We'd pay people off for you. That's what I'm trying to say. Jet. The Min family has we have particular regions exclusive to us, but they say that you want to become a king.
Oh, I can do that on my own. I want something else from you.
I'll give you what you want, as well as a little region with which you can call your own.
All right. Just promise me you'll throw another party like this, and I want them to be on stage licking the bottom of my boot.
Yeah. Okay. She's like, weirdo. We'll have as many people licking your feet as much as you'd like.
Oh, you know who I mean.
I will not be licking your feet, Jet, as much as I love you, darling.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I heard
Ophelia.
people get paid for that.
Ophelia looks at you with a deep acknowledgement, Jet. I'll have my godson come back to the country.
I put away the juice pouch of blood.
But there is one thing which is very, is difficult when there's no records. Wendy, I don't know your last name. I don't really know anything about your history. Is there anything that you would want that we could provide to you to sweeten this deal?
I want to be able to stay here. Like maybe a house, maybe something big enough so I can house my family.
That's a very, very old woman answer. I like it. Just a house.
Yeah, I don't need anything fancy.
No protection?
I might need some protection, actually, after this, now that you mention it. Yeah.
We can
That would
secure
be
your
great.
protection. All of this is easy to provide, easy to start whenever. It's just a matter of the investigation. It's very unfortunate to see a shrine that means so much to us be treated this way. And in general, it's just not very good manners. So, if there are any other questions, if there's anything I can provide to you in this moment, the investigation for the rogue Kindred can start.
Jet kicks up his feet and stands up, and he looks over to the group and say, while we're here, I think I know where to start, and I'm gonna head out the room.
Any last thoughts?
Wendy has been mulling over all the connections in their head, so as Jet makes their exit, Wendy is also like, I have to make a phone call, and just like walks off. Kind of following Jet, but not really following Jet, just trying to step away.
I think Viridian looks to their side where Cerise is and finishes off the glass of blood, and will put the empty glass back on the tray that was offered, and is just waiting to see if Cerise has any more questions.
Cerise doesn't have any more questions. I think they know the not logical next step for them anyway, for their role in this investigation. So I think honestly, they just kind of like sigh as Jet says that he knows where to start, and looks over at Viridian and says, Sajangneem, I don't work at night. Can we go home?
Yes. And Viridian, with that, will stand up and will extend a hand out to Ophelia to shake.
Her little wobbly fingered hand, you can feel her knuckles, like her knuckle bones, shake.
And Viridian will just give a very firm and swift handshake, and will do a very polite, like, bow of the head in her direction, and then will just nod very curtly, almost too curtly, at Debbie, as if it was a motion that I think the two of us just understand. And will do like a 180 on my heel, and like pausing at the doorway to like make sure that like Cerise is coming with me, we walk out.
And with that, the investigation is on. There's some rogue motherfucker out there. That is the end of the premiere of Itaewon by Night.
Yay!
Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for the donations. All of the announcements, all of the things out of the way. We'll go through our wonderful cast once again with plugs. So to start, I have been Josephine. I have been your storyteller. I am at Scary Dog Friend. You can find me literally here. I am here doing Farewell Yellow House. I will be your storyteller every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Same time, same place. I'm also over at Girls Run These Worlds for the Roll for Luck campaign, where I am a player. And also in the same campaign as Hamna and Jay, also for Divine Intervention every other Monday, or technically weekly Mondays. Thank you, everyone, so much from the bottom of my heart. I'm going to pass this over to Jen.
I'm Jen /Youngles. I'm playing Wendy. We both use she, they pronouns. I have stuff coming up, but I can't talk about any of it. So, not yet. But keep an eye on my Twitter, because there'll be stuff there. And I'll be here doing this every week.
What's your Twitter? Say it
Ben
again.
Kiki. Thank you. Thank you.
Hamna.
Hello, everybody. My name is Hamna. I use any and all pronouns, and today I have been Cerise Shaheen, who uses they, them pronouns. I am a TTRPG performer, so you can find me on Twitter at @shahid_, where I talk about all of the different projects that I'm a part of. I'm on a lot of stuff, so Twitter is definitely the best place to be if you want to know where I am at any given point in time. But I will plug this Thursday at, I believe, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'm always bad with times, but I think 8 p.m. Eastern time, I will be over on VO_Cologne's channel to play the Mythic Initiative. It is a Monster of the Week campaign where we did not understand the assignment and we all decided that we were the monsters, actually. I play a child of the devil who is the harbinger of the apocalypse. So if you want feral, but on the mask side of things, that's my character, frat boy Cerise, basically. So you should definitely come check that out. It's a lot of fun, and there's a beautiful, beautiful cast on that show as well. And I will pass things over to Jay.
Me. Hello, everyone. My name is Jay or Nala. I use they, them pronouns, and tonight I played Viridian Song of Clan Ventru, who uses they, she pronouns. You can find me on Twitter at NalaWoo and at NalaDraws if you'd like to see my artwork. I am a professional illustrator and art director working full-time and doing freelance in tabletop RPGs. And I would love to draw your characters if you want that. I also do interior illustration and cover art, spot illustration, whatever you need. My portfolio is on NalaDraws.com. Besides art, I am also a voice actor, sensitivity reader, and cultural consultant, TTRPG content creator, and actual play stream performer. The best place to keep up with all of the stuff that I'm involved in is on my Twitter, which again is at NalaWoo. I am looking at my schedule, and I don't have anything else coming up that I can talk about yet either. So yeah, mood on that. But follow me on Twitter. That's the best place to keep up with me. Thank you very much. And I am going to throw it to Fabian.
What's up? What's up? Hi, I'm Fabs. I'm Fabian, producer, sometimes GM, sometimes player here at Going Critical. Thank you so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun. I'm a comic book creator and a content creator. You can find me here. Also, you can find me on Phoenix by Night on the 26th of November. Just got announced today. 5 p.m. EST. Yeah, where we're gonna be playing some Camarilla vampires. Yeah, it's gonna be with Draconics, Stella Luna, Okatrina, and D'Angelo as our storyteller, so I'm so excited for that. Other than that, if you like the art for this whole show, I did the art. You can check me out at Rockets and Pens on Twitter, just like Nala. If you want me to do your stuff, do your art stuff, reach out to me. I like doing this stuff. Anyway, I had fun. Hopefully you guys had fun.
Before I forget, also, thank you so much to Leona and Cade for being our mods for tonight. Thank you. We had so much to focus on, and y'all have been very supportive and comforting.
We have one more mod. Who was? So it was a Spectrum Gay Mess, Leona. I forgot. I'm so bad with names, but the third one that
Leona Maple.
Leona Maple,
on Twitter, and they do sensitivity reading and stuff, and is a really cool person.
Yes.
Spooky Lexi too.
And
I think
Spooky
you made a
Lexi.
mod. Yep.
You guys
Thank you
are
all so much.
amazing. Thank you for the help. Hell yeah.
And before we sign off properly, there may or may not be a guest next week. You don't know.
I don't like
You
this.
don't know. Goodbye. Good night. Thank you so much. And we'll see you the next Itaewon by night.